Atlantic Canada's culture is filled with a number of ghost stories. Our next guest has written about many of them. Author Vernon Oickle drove in from Liverpool this morning in the wind and rain to join us live in studio for this chilling and spooky interview. We're very thrilled to have him in with us. Vernon, thanks for making the effort today.
Thank you. And it was chilly and miserable and windy and rainy. It was dark.
The thing that ghost stories are made of.
Absolutely, and it's Halloween, so
it's perfect.
So the atmosphere is perfect for this.
Tell us about your latest book.
Sure. This one is this is a sequel to one that came out in 2019 called More Ghost Stories of Nova Scotia, so which was a sequel to Ghost Stories of Nova Scotia.
Yes.
So yeah, this one came out. It's just out now. It's just fresh on the shelves, September, and it's a collection like the other ones. It's a collection of true, ghost stories. Paranormal events from all over Nova Scotia. I took great care in trying to make sure I represented many regions of the province, the South Shore, and there's Halifax and Cape Breton and the Valley. So, there's a mishmash of stories in there, stuff that people seem to like.
So true stories, interesting. Yeah. I know that you grew up around ghost stories. That's why you started to document them.
Exactly. Well, I grew up in rural Nova Scotia, Liverpool. And my family was, particularly on my mother's side of my family, was big into superstitions and ghosts, and it was often a topic of conversation, particularly superstitions in our household. And so I just grew up with an interest in the material, and then when I became a journalist and started researching the material, it just seemed natural to turn this stuff into books.
Well, I can't wait to read the latest book. I love ghost stories. I'll read the book, then I'll tell the ghost stories to other people.
Yeah.
I remember my husband's grandma, Marion McClellan, she loved the Forerunners.
Oh, yeah.
She had great stories about the Forerunners, and you were saying you like that, too.
Yeah. I think of all the paranormal experiences that I've researched, written about, and talk about in my presentations, Forerunners. I mean, the Forerunners are, for those who don't know, are a sign of death, right?
Okay.
It's a forewarning. If you see a Forerunner, it's really meant to tell you, listen, be ready within 3 days. Something tragic is going to happen, and probably to somebody that you know, maybe a member of the family. But as the name suggests, it's a foreboding, a forewarning, sort of a foreshadowing of something that's going to happen.
Okay, in our interpretation, this is Grandma was from Big Grandma, we called her, from Cape Breton. Although she was a very tiny woman, we called her Big Grandma.
Big Grandma, yep.
Forerunner just meant like a foretelling of the future.
Well, that is a foretelling of the future, right?
Yeah, but not necessarily death. Like
no.
Just like something's going to happen.
A lot of the superstitions in rural communities deal with death, signs of death.
Yes.
And they come from tragic circumstances and events, and people talk about them, and then it seems we're always looking for an explanation for when something happens. So, someone might say, "Oh my gosh, this morning a bird hit my window."
Right.
And so they correlate the two, and there becomes the belief, the superstition that if a bird hits the window,
right,
it's a sign of because think about it. Centuries ago, when we didn't have science that we have today, people were looking for explanations about why things happen. They turned to nature and the environment to look for things like cycles of plants, cycles of animals. What were they telling them? The cycles of the moon, like when to plant your potatoes and things.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Well, they relied on their instincts and the world they knew, which was natural.
We probably only have about a minute left, so I wanted to ask you a couple more questions before we go. I mean, you're doing a great job of documenting the culture and the history of our region. We've only got 20 seconds left, so I'm going to ask you a direct question.
Yep.
Have you ever experienced a ghost or paranormal thing happen
I have.
to you? Really?
I personally have experienced a Forerunner. It's a great story. It's in my Forerunner book.
Okay.
And I don't have time to tell it today because it's really long. But yeah, I have. And I'll just tell you this: when I do presentations, I'm always asked, "Do you believe in ghosts?" And I always say, "Look, listen, I don't not believe because I have had things that happen to me, and I encourage people to keep an open mind and don't always look for answers."
Okay. Well, you know what you can look for? Great stories.
Exactly.
And that's where you can find it. Can you hold the book real quick?
Sure can.
Even More Ghost Stories, Vernon Oickle. We put a link to Vernon's website on ours so you can find out more or get that Forerunners book and hear about your experiences.
Yeah.
In any case, Latavia, this is right up your alley.